Good morning, everyone. Welcome to McConnell Park here in Savin Hill section of Dorchester. Proud to have everyone here today. Speaking personally as a former Savin Hill Met, Astro, Oriole, and White Sox that played on this very field 30 years ago. This has been a 30-year dream in the making, so very exciting to be down here today, to have my T-ball coach here somewhere, Steve Hamilton, with his grandson down here too. So a long time coming. Very excited for this. This is the completion of an $8.5 million project. And as the Parks Commissioner here for the City of Boston, I want to personally thank Weston and Sampson, who was the design firm who helped design this park, and thank Fleming Brothers, who was the contractor that worked hard out here each day to get things done. I also want to thank the residents. We started this in 2017, starting design meetings up at Cristo Rey, and especially the neighbors, whether it's Bill and Andrea and Dookie and Patty and everybody that's helped give water and live through the construction of redoing the parking lot in the park for the past 2 years. So thanks for all your kindness and help and understanding as we went through that very long process. This park was a jurisdictional nightmare, if you will. It has Boston Parks. We had engagement with the Environment Department, their Climate Ready teams, and the Conservation Commission, the Public Works Department, the Transportation's Traffic Team, the Law Department, the City's Water and Sewer Commission, the DCR, MEPA, and of course there's utilities underneath this park for Eversource, Comcast, and Verizon. So you can now understand why it took a 5-year process to get all this done, and we're here today to celebrate that. Funding was provided from the Mayor's Capital Improvement Plan with a $1 million land and water conservation grant. And this full renovation includes a state-of-the-art Little League field with full irrigation. We have a multi-purpose soccer area in the middle. We have a softball area in the back, and we have an inclusion field there for kids with disabilities, T-balls, clinics, all in the far southwest corner. So this really, with a new playground, new walking paths, all accessible. So we're very excited for that, and we're very excited in the City of Boston to have a mayor that's in the parks almost every day with her kids, probably every day with her kids. She understands the value of the parks. Please welcome the Mayor of the City of Boston, Mayor Michelle Wu.
Thank you so much. We're so grateful for the leadership of our incredible Parks Commissioner Ryan Woods. Another round of applause for Ryan and his team, who keep our most treasured spaces across the city beautiful every day. I'm grateful to be here with colleagues in government from city and state levels, and I will invite them up to speak right after me. We're also here with our Commissioner of the Environment Department, Allison Brizius, as well. Shout out to Allison! Allison and Ryan both representing our amazing Chief of Energy, Environment, and Open Space, Reverend Mariama White-Hammond, who is away today, but here in spirit. We're also joined by Sheila Warren with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. Thank you for all of your guidance and your collaboration in making sure we could get the resiliency part of this exactly right as well. And thank you to all of our residents, and especially our young people who are already showcasing how important it is to have spaces like this throughout the city and in our neighborhoods. It is thrilling to be here to celebrate the opening of McConnell Park and unveiling our high water mark signs. Our parks are critical community spaces for connection, for health, for play, and for seeing and running into your neighbors. I'm grateful to all of our city departments and partners at the state and federal level, and community members for working to make sure that this park satisfies all of the many needs, both in terms of the uses that our commissioner outlined and that we're really proud to host and create such an inclusive environment for all, as well as our impending needs as a coastal city, and right here especially, where we've seen this exact part of the city in the past flooded all the way through. I want to emphasize the accessibility here. We're hosting the only dedicated Little League field in Dorchester that is a multi-purpose softball field and soccer field, as well as the Challenger Ball field for inclusion leagues, which features turf without infill for accessibility, and an inclusive play area for children of all abilities, an accessible pathway that weaves throughout the entire park. Green spaces like this one are absolutely necessary for our mental and physical health, and they're powerful tools in the fight against climate change. And so we're looking to the specific infrastructure changes that I know Allison and our partners at the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers will go into about how the berms were installed, the green infrastructure that we can recognize as beautiful places to play and grassy spots are in fact important tools and barriers for the water to protect our residents all the way in our neighborhoods. In 2018, 2 nor'easters brought tidal surges, high winds, and flooding that damaged this park's infrastructure and nearby properties. And so in response, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers collaborated with state and federal partners to install the high watermark signs for flood safety awareness in our communities. Since then, we've raised the grade of the park's parking lot and redesigned the islands here with permeable materials to further mitigate that flooding. We can't prevent nor'easters and other intense storms, but we can do our best to be prepared for them and to ensure that from community education to the physical infrastructure, that we are making the most of our coastal area and enjoying it throughout all the year as well. Parks like this one also don't just defend against flooding, they clean our city's water and reduce air pollution, which we know disproportionately impacts communities of color here in Boston. And so as we continue to work to make Boston the greenest city in the country, we have to do so with a focus on inclusion, access, and communities who deserve and need spaces for fun, for play, and for families to be together. And so this is a testament to the fact that we have a real opportunity in this moment to make changes that include all of us, that improve quality of life, and ensure the resilience and longevity of our green spaces. Making sure Boston is the greenest city in America goes hand in hand with being the most family-friendly city as well. Okay, I just want to make sure all of our press conferences are bilingual. Buenos días, estoy encantada de estar aquí para celebrar la apertura del Parque McConnell y presentar las señales de la marca de agua. Nuestros parques son espacios comunitarios fundamentales que crean oportunidades para que los residentes se conecten entre sí. Agradezco a todos los departamentos de la ciudad y a nuestros socios a nivel estatal y federal, así como a nuestros socios comunitarios, por trabajar con nosotros para garantizar que el Parque McConnell sea un espacio resistente al clima. Además de tener el único campo de Little League en Dorchester, un campo de softball y un campo de fútbol, el campo Challenger del parque para la Liga de Inclusión cuenta con un terreno especial para la accesibilidad, así como una zona de juego inclusiva para niños de todas las capacidades y un camino accesible que atraviesa todo el parque. Los espacios como este no solo son buenos para nuestra salud mental y física, también son herramientas poderosas en la lucha contra el cambio climático. Como ciudad costera, contamos con parques como este para protegernos de las tormentas y de la subida de nivel de mar, minimizando el impacto de las inundaciones. La apertura del Parque McConnell es un testimonio de que tenemos la oportunidad de afrontar nuestros retos interseccionales con soluciones interseccionales. Soluciones que mejoran la calidad de vida de nuestros residentes al tiempo que garantizan la resistencia y la longevidad de nuestros espacios. Este parque es una prueba de que nuestros objetivos de hacer de Boston la ciudad más ecológica del país y la más familiar están unidos. Gracias, and I will pass it on to all my colleagues in government. We'll start with our district councilor, Councilor Baker, and then go to at-large councilor Ruth Jen, at-large councilor Aaron Murphy, and then State Representative Dan Hunt.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for coming out. It's a long way, Ryan had mentioned, it's a long way from the fields we all grew up playing on, but what a really, really great design. I'd like to thank Mayor Wu for her continued support for this project in this neighborhood here. I'd like to thank my colleagues for coming out. Dan Hunt, Aaron Murphy, and Ruth Jen, thank you very much. Welcome to Savin Hill, welcome to the beach and the park. Ryan did a great job summing everything up. It was logistically, he said nightmare, we would say difficult. I guess it still is a difficult area to manage between the city and the state, but what a great job Ryan didn't get thanked. Thank you, Ryan, for bringing that bridge. Yeah, give it up for Ryan. And everybody in the Parks Department, from your designers to your laborers. But Ryan was that bridge between the two Chris's in the previous administration, the Walsh administration, which thank you for that, and being able to hold everything together, and for us to be able to gather here today and have this beautiful space, which goes from, it speaks to resiliency here on the water. It has the field for the Challenger League, which is very, very special, first in the state, I believe, and then also the regular fields that we have to play on. So all in all, thank the neighbors for living through the construction and allowing us to get to this point. Thank you to Columbia Savin Hill for all the planning that happened, and everybody who was there to be able to plan this beautiful place for us all to gather at and have positive interactions. So thank you, enjoy your day, and thank you, everybody.
Good morning, everyone. Hello, Savin Hill. My name is Ruth C. Louisian. I'm one of your at-large city councilors. Really happy to be here today, and want to just echo the comments of my colleague, Frank Baker. This is a labor of love. I've only been on the council for 6 months now, and we get calls from constituents all the time, like, we want to improve our park, we need to improve our park, and I call someone in the administration, and it's not that simple. And I think this is an example of how it's not that simple, because it involves so many different departments coming together, thinking about our climate change issues that we have to face. And so this is a result of a labor of love by so many. So I'm not going to name everyone again, but I just want to thank everyone. We see from our young folks who are here, our young kids, that they love parks. I grew up in Mattapan, right on the Lower Mills line. My parks my parks and libraries, our public spaces, demand investment as public goods, and I could see the excitement when I walked here, and there were kids from the teen center at St. Peter's who were here to enjoy the park and to see what it looks like to invest in them and to invest in our community. So really happy to be here, really happy to see this new park, and I'm going to pass it along to my colleague, at-large City Councilor Erin Murphy.
Thank you, Councilor Louisian. Good morning, everyone, and good morning, Columbia Savin Hill. It's so great to see so many of the neighbors came out, and also it was great to see that we have our youth teen workers who are here with our sports center summer camp kids, and we're already seeing, yay, we're already seeing kids using the fields and neighborhood kids out in the playground. So this is a success story, and it's because we're working together. So thank you again to Ryan Woods and the Boston Parks Department, but also DCR and our friends at the state. Representative Dan Hunt will be speaking after me, but working collaboratively together is what makes these things possible. So I'm here to just say this is such a great thing, and I know when my kids were growing up, Cedar Grove baseball and Savin Hill baseball were two different things, but now it's one Dorchester baseball. So when I'm coming to my nieces and nephews games, or if I'm here watching the Challenger games, we're going to be here on this amazing Little League field. So thank you for this investment, and we'll make sure that we keep it nice for this neighborhood, which is so deserving. So have a great day, enjoy the park, and thank you to my councilor, Frank Baker, who always advocates so strongly for his neighbors. I'm so proud to call him my city councilor. So thank you.
Good morning. Welcome to Savin Hill. It's represented by Bug, who's my chief of staff's brother. I want to thank all of you, the neighbors, as Councilor Baker and others have said, dealing with the development and countless meetings. I see Mike Christopher, who was an aide or chief of staff for Marty Walsh when he was the rep. I was at DCR as Government Affairs Director when these conversations started in earnest. I see the former commissioner of DCR, Jack Murray, over here. We've had a lot of conversations over the years because of the overlap in space. Obviously thanking Mayor Walsh for putting this in action, Mayor Janey for continuing that work, and Mayor Wu for continuing those commitments across the city, not just here. Like all of the DCR parks and state parks, they tend to be regional assets. And as Councilor Lejeune said, as we see folks get off the tee and come and enjoy these public spaces, it's really a true testament to the city, whether they're going to the beach, this park, or to Carson Beach. So I want to thank you, the community leaders, stalwarts of this neighborhood, and have a great day. Be safe. Thanks, Mayor Wu.
Thanks, Mayor Wu.
I'm so fortunate in my Cabinet of Energy, Environment, and Open Space to have a partner in government in our Environment Commissioner who's going to talk about some of the exciting resiliency measures that are taking place in this park. Please welcome Dr. Allison Brizius.
Thank you, Ryan, and good morning all. I'd like to add my voice joining to welcome you to this beautiful, newly renovated McConnell Park. As Commissioner Wood said, my name is Allison Brizius and I'm the Commissioner of the city's Environment Department. I'd first like to just take another moment to thank Mayor Wu, our Green New Deal mayor, who has been leading the charge on climate change in the city, and particularly today for her commitment to climate resilience and beautiful open spaces like this as a part of our city. I'd also like to thank Commissioner Woods, the councilors, the representative, and Sheila Warren from the Army Corps who is here today. As the mayor discussed, parks can play such a critical role in our city's resilience, especially in areas like McConnell, where we're seeing more frequent and intense flooding from sea level rise, and as climate continues to change, we will see more of this with more frequent and intense storms. That's why McConnell is particularly critical. It's one of our first, but certainly not our last resilient and adapted parks in this city. It boasts many climate-ready features that I'm going to talk to you about a few of them today. First, this is a park that's able to flood. It's built with materials that are going to reduce the impacts and reduce the maintenance so that it can withstand the increasing pace of storms that will come in the future. It also, while it maintains access and connection to the water, as you can see here, they're built in through clever design, elevation and grade changes that culminate behind us in a line of protection that's going to contribute to broader neighborhood protection for decades to come. And importantly, it's designed to be adaptable. We know that the sea levels will continue to rise and we'll get new projections. So built in is the ability to add more resilience measures into the future. I'd like to just say that as we've worked to increase the resilience in the infrastructure and the design of McConnell Park, we've also partnered with the state and our federal partners at the Army Corps to increase public awareness of both the flood risk and what we're doing to address it. Sheila Warren from the Army Corps is about to step up here next to talk more about that project and the plans and how we're digging it. But I want to highlight a few of the adaptive features of those signs. There's actually interpretive signage that will allow us to continue to update the community as they see the sign about the actions that we take over the next years to increase actions like this resilient McConnell Park across the city. And finally, I'd just like to add one thank you to all of the wonderful partners that were involved in this project. Mayor Wu again, Commissioner Woods in the Parks Department, and the wonderful team at the Environment Department, Nick Moreno and Kate Otheimer and Kat McCandless and Kathy Baker Eclipse, and obviously the Army Corps of Engineers, DCR, MEMA, FEMA, USGS, NOAA, and the National Weather Service. Thank you all for being such strong partners and allies in this work, and I'm going to hand it over to Sheila now.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Sheila Warren. I work at New England District Army Corps of Engineers, which is in Concord, Massachusetts. My position is called Silver Jackets Coordinator, and I'm the one who coordinated all of the other federal partners and the city and the state to be able to put some interactive signs here so that the community can understand better what their flood risk is here at McConnell Park, but also there will be more signs all over other parts of Boston. This has been a collaborative situation because at the Corps of Engineers we have a program that's called Flood Risk Management, and in this program there's the Silver Jackets program is an outreach to the states to follow state leads on how to mitigate and help communities become more resilient to floods. And so the Silver Jackets team is led by Mary Beth Groff here at MEMA, which is the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency. And the floodplain manager of the Commonwealth is Joy DePero, and she's at DCR. The two of them have put together the rest of the team, which includes the Corps of Engineers, which is a federal partner, the USGS, which is the United States Geological Survey, and NOAA, which is National Atmospheric Oceanic agency which has two partners in here. One is the National Weather Service and the other one is the Office for Coastal Management. And the City of Boston applied for money, for funding to do this actual project, which is called a high watermark project. This is one of many high watermark projects all over the country that Silver Jackets teams have put together so that they can explain to the community how to be more resilient to floods, to be aware of the floods, and to help people come up with ideas for flood risk mitigation and all types of information, because as everyone here has mentioned, the floods aren't going to stop, the storms aren't going to stop. But what they did here is rebuild this park to become more resilient, and down behind the backstop is a sign that actually shows you how high the water did come in the storms of 2018. There were a number of storms, not just one. And then if sea level rises a little bit, then there's another we call them medallions, and that's where the sea level rise potential could be for that kind of storm. And then if there's extreme sea level rise, there's an even higher mark, which is over my head, which is a very a graphic description of how people can have an idea of how high the water did come and how high it possibly could be. And there's also an interactive sign a little bit further down that shows the actual water that was in here during 2018. And so with my federal partners, state partners, and the City of Boston, I am honored to be able to be part of this project and to lead the Silver Jackets program in New England, and hopefully we can do another one again soon with the city. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sheila. I also want to point out our new captain here from Boston Police is here. Captain Burns is here. Thank you for joining us. This is in his jurisdiction as well, so you will see him in the community here. We're joined by members of the Veterans Commission as well, because I think it's very important, and a lot of our properties are named after a veteran. So the rock behind me, anyone that's from the neighborhood knows it used to be up on the hill here, and we wanted to put it in a more prominent spot. And we have a temporary marker, because with everything else that is delayed, so is bronze. So until the official bronze is in, we have a marker up here. But honoring Captain Joseph McConnell. This original plaque that was dedicated to him was dedicated on September 11th, 1921. He was a captain in the 1st Battalion, 101st Infantry, who lost his life in France during World War I. So there's some interpretive signage to educate and inform people who McConnell was. And as the September 12th, 1921 Boston Globe stated, over 10,000 people joined down at this park for that dedication with bands all the way walking from Codman Square to McConnell Park. So we're here to honor him and to make people aware. So I wanted to point out that this rock is in a more prominent place to honor the veteran that it's named after. So we now have the exciting part where we'd like to have some kids and families and our elected officials join us right up here in front for an official ribbon cutting here. So if we just take a minute to get into place, and we'll wait for John's cue here to tell us when we should cut. So.
Ready?
3, 2, 1!
The park is open!
McConnell Park's officially open. Thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed many days down here at the park. We would ask our state and local elected officials to join us as we're going to walk down the path to unveil some of the climate resiliency signage. Anyone's welcome to join us, but we will be walking down further to those diamonds. Thanks everyone for coming out today.
Okay. I'm ready whenever you are, Mayor. There it is. Look at that.